As someone who covers the Chinese consumer tech scene closely, I've had the privilege to see some brands go from being obscure startups or having virtually no name recognition outside of China, like Insta360, Vivo, Keychron, to grow and become globally popular leaders in their industry. Tecno, which existed for the last decade as a maker of ultra-budget phones in Africa, is probably next on the list. The Shenzhen-headquartered company began setting loftier goals a year and a half ago, releasing more premium devices in more developed markets, and in the time since then has made quite a splash, including being the first Chinese brand to launch and sell a foldable in India. To continue the growth, Tecno knows it has to invest in R&D and hardware innovation, and in an event named Future Lens, held in Shanghai this past week, the company teased several new innovations. Variable aperture with a twistThe first is the one I'm personally most excited about, a variable aperture camera. This has been done in mobile phones before by Samsung, Huawei and Xiaomi, but Tecno's implementation is different from the pack. Tecno says its upcoming camera will use a shutter with an odd W shape, as seen in the image above, and it's patterned after the eyes of a cuttlefish, whose pupils are also W-shaped and can shift in size to adjust light intake. This is a completely different approach from conventional camera aperture shutters, which use a circular shape. Tecno says their take is more efficient because, like the cuttlefish's pupils, the W shape can close to a sliver, and also the combination of horizontal and vertical oriented slits allows for a higher level of illumination across the image sensor. Now, Tecno did not have a finished product or even a prototype to see, but the company did introduce a retractable zoom lens last year, one that I personally tested and found genuinely useful and pioneering. So Tecno has proven it can zig where others zag when it comes to mobile imaging hardware. Liquid Telephoto Macro lens. The second innovation Tecno announced is a liquid telephoto macro lens that allows the lens shift in size and shape for differing minimum focal distances. Most smartphone makers have to resort to motorized systems to shift the lens to achieve the same effect, but Tecno says its lens, which is made of a flexible gel-like material, essentially allows the lens to move without requiring expensive and more fragile components. Tecno was keen to call its lens an industry first during the event, but I must burst its bubble here and point out that Xiaomi had actually launched a liquid zoom lens 2 years ago in the Xiaomi Mix Fold. However, Tecno's big claim can be that its tech will be used in a periscope zoom lens, which would be an industry first. Tecno's version of Google's real ToneTecno also announced a third innovation that's software-driven, named Universal Tone.